Good afternoon and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Summit 7 Chinese qualifiers. This is the lowest bracket semi-finals between LGD versus IG. The winner of this series will proceed to play against E-Home. And basically the winner of that then will go to play against CDEC in the grand finals. And of course the winner will qualify for the Summit 7. My name is Hades and this is PQMZ joining me for this cast, as we will be casters all the way for this series, and hopefully with some monster he'll be back for the third one as well. Hello P.
Yeah, I think so far it's working, so we might as well go all the way, right?
Don't overdose, don't overdose. Alright, how many more cans do you have left?
Well, I have a 4-pack, I've had 2 of them, well nearly 2, so over 3 games it might not last. But as I said earlier, I don't really crash, so should be good.
Oh, I need one too, but is it too late to send one over?
Yeah, I believe so. Maybe you can rush to the store between games.
I don't think so. I mean, this game was scheduled for 3 o'clock and we started, or we were a bit late, like 23 minutes a bit late, so I don't think there's any time for me to run to a store.
Have tea instead. It's got caffeine in.
Tea? Oh, are you saying that because are you saying that because I'm Chinese?
No, I'm saying it because I'm British.
Oh, well played, sir. Well played. All right, so this time in this series, this lower bracket series, very intense between these two teams, well-known teams, LGD and Invictus Gaming, and of course we all know what a force Boboka can be. We have 2 B gods, and at the same time LGD. Although 11 joining them, he's really boosted them a lot. Maybe he has also started to shine with LGD. Immediately, I like the bans, man. All these bans are just just like Boboka bans from both sides.
I actually think it's really interesting to see how teams draft against IG. This is the Chinese team I've seen the most games of and actually cast the most games of by far. And different teams have different ways of dealing with them, sorry. But most of the teams seem to gravitate around banning the Invis heroes because they are just naturally the most annoying to play against.
5 seconds remaining.
But there's like so many ways you can go, and I feel like ever since IG had the success at a tournament that I can't remember the name of, and I'm hoping you'll enlighten me which one they won. Was it like Star Ladder or something?
I think it was Star Ladder. I think it was it? Yeah, it was Star Ladder.
LGD's
but ever since they won that, they'll have been on everyone's radar. And the way they played was like, it was almost the same kind of strategy with 1 or 2 interchangeable heroes every game. And if that those somehow got banned out, they'd just go to a second strategy. They didn't have anything more, at least that they showed. So almost everyone's going to know how to play against
5 seconds remaining.
Well, if anything, IG, they have changed the way they've drafted recently. Like, you look at Q, he doesn't just draft the Boboka heroes anymore, straight up, or has he? Because you see, Slaughter immediately picked up. This could be the 4. LGD go back for the Warlock and Clockwork. I mean, I'm not sure about EU, but I know that in China, at least Clockwork has started to pick up quite a bit. And okay, I need to carry this part again. Bob the Pigeon just came back.
Alright. In EU, I've seen a lot of like first pick clock, and it really like. If you can't run this hero as a 4, I don't think you can warrant picking it in the 1-2. But a lot of teams seem to be making that work these days as a backup option. But I kind of like it here because Warlock wants someone to start the fight for you. And Clockwork's one of the best initiators. He can work with no farm at all. He just needs a few levels. Hook start the fight, people get more chaotic, and then you drop the rock and life's good. But I also really like IG's opening. This is like, if you're not gonna get maybe Trian or Abaddon, this is one of the openings I'd like the most. It's just so flexible, and almost every core likes having these 2 heroes on your team. Slider enables you to have so many different cores, especially if you're like the mid lane, because the amp just makes them scale in a way you wouldn't expect them to, and all carries love not having to buy Keeler or Raindrops and Fairy Clarities because the CM's on their team. It just makes you ramp up that much quicker.
can't believe I'm saying this because like when we first started casting together, when the Trian basically was being picked by all the Chinese teams, I hated it. But now for some reason I actually miss it.
I wouldn't say I miss it. It's a very boring hero to watch.
I mean,
The one thing, it's like an art to play around the hero.
10 seconds remaining.
So many teams, they pick the hero and then they kind of forgo an aspect of him. They either use him for like high ground turtling, so teams have to finish your racks and namely your Tifrees if they want any value. But some of the teams, they actually just stop you taking their tier 1s, and that is beautiful to watch. That's like the true use of the hero, I feel like.
And getting some good ganks across as well. But I mean, chat just wants me to say I'm wrong because I think I was like one of the few casters to flame the Trian eggs.
10 seconds.
I think the Ags is awful actually.
Oh, okay. My co-caster has said it too.
5 seconds.
Like you don't pick the hero for the Ags. It used to be like ages ago before he got his invis changed. That was like the most broken thing about the hero. I actually remember, I think it was either VP or Empire, one of the Russian teams, and this was actually back when I was playing as well. They used to have Trian played as a carry in their safe lane, and he would rush Ags and have it by like 14 minutes, and you just can't do anything on the map if you can't kill trees, and you have to also buy gem. And that was the most annoying thing. But now,
5 seconds remaining.
you want like, if you need an initiation, Blink Dagger on this hero is one of the best forms of jumping single heroes. If you don't need the initiation, Solar Crest, and then he just makes your team really hard to kill and gives you great counter initiation. I think the hero's maybe not broken, but probably could do with a tweak. It's just too good in too many ways.
If anything, give Monkey King buffs. Ice Frog, if you're watching. Give Monkey King buffs. And
I don't
okay,
think he needs any, mate.
he does, man. He need the boundless strike to stun to be a bit longer, just a tiny bit more. Bring back the glory days.
Why not just give it 500% crit damage, you know?
Oh shit, man. That's like, oh, that's so good.
5 seconds
Just remove the
remaining.
stun and make it like scale in damage. That's so much better. Kappa.
Reserve time.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna fall for that one. But okay, the Troll Wallet pick comes out for IG. A lot more teams really starting to play with the Troll. It's one of those heroes where you don't necessarily need to always get a Sven for the jug. But I like this too. Troll with a Slaughter and a Darkseer. He can just run into your face, get a few lucky bashes in. With the Slaughter setup, you're definitely gonna die. And I like the IG draft now because you have Slaughter and Darkseer as a dual lane. That's very strong. That's going to pressure the jug a lot, and Warlock alone is not going to be enough.
They do have the option of ditching the lane though. Jug is at least one of the better heroes at dealing with that. But I do agree with you on most points. Like, I really like IG's 4 out of 5 so far. But this does bring me back to like the days where you used to see trolling Jug in every game. In what, 6.84 I think it was. I could be wrong on that. I'm horrible at remembering which patch was named after what. But this this duo of heroes against each other was so momentum based as carries. Normally, Troll would lose if he didn't have a Manta, if they're on even footing, or it was whoever had an Aegis would win. Because that's all the heroes were about, was getting Aegis and snowballing. But the game's changed a lot now. It's a lot more team integral. So we shall see how they opt to play.
LGD's turn to ban.
Sanking. Alright, so
I hope that's not the support.
I'm afraid it is. We've seen it quite often. Like 2 days
Could
ago.
be the offlane.
Like I believe when we first started the Summit 7 Chinese qualifiers, the teams were first picking the Sand King as a 4. Even Bobaka was playing the Sand King as a 4 as well. And
5 seconds
that was between him and Lanham. Yeah, they were just like between him and Ehome, they were just like, okay, I want this. I definitely want this. So I mean, I don't think it's that bad. It's just that as a 4 it feels weird because he needs so much more farm. I feel like the Sand King's just too greedy. And just as it is, maybe that's why they picked the Clockwork, because once this guy doesn't need items that much. He just needs levels, level 6, he goes around, he isolates the troll. That's what he needs to do.
5 seconds
I feel like that's too late though. Like,
Radiant
your whole point of the Sand King being too greedy is why I think he needs to be in the offlane. And he doesn't do that much at stopping Slider Darkseer. Whereas Clockwork, on the other hand, okay, he needs level 2, but cogs
10
make it so
seconds
much harder for
remaining.
them to run at you and get value, and if you actually isolate one of them in the cogs, Surge
5
doesn't save them
seconds
anymore,
remaining.
and you can actually get a lot of value out of that as your support. And also Sand King puts way more pressure on lanes, which Troll CM, they shouldn't be able to kill him. You know, he can always like Borrow Strike, TP out, that kind of stuff.
That's true. And oh, we actually haven't talked about this hero yet. And
I love some DP. And you can take that out of context if you want, but
Hi Reddit, I'm not sure, but okay, yeah. I mean, you like DP. I mean, who doesn't like DP? And it's just what she brings to the table is really, really strong, especially since, you know, you're playing around that ultimate. You don't want to be fighting into that. It's very rare that you want to do so, unless like your Clockwork and your Warlock all goes Blade Mode, everyone just walks in.
10 seconds
even then
remaining.
though, it's generally worth the trade. Because
5
she's not the only
seconds
threat.
remaining.
The only thing is, she's going to be very reliant on the Darkseer for sustain, and maybe like a CM Glimmer Cape. But LGD do have ways of connecting their burst. If Jug and Quap can line up on this hero while the other 3 heroes can mess around with the rest, they do have plenty of ways of killing her. Same thing for Troll. Like, they don't have necessarily the easiest matchup, but their supporting cast is really good at getting the game rolling for them. Whereas I feel like LGD's supporting cast is all completely reactive. They can be proactive, but they need, I think, a better start than what IG does. It's also, I feel like, easier for IG to get that start because Darks is just that kind of hero. They have a good carry at dealing with him, but the rest of the team struggle. And if the Sand King is not going to connect with any ganks or anything, he just goes to the jungle, he creates a lot of pressure on his team to not lose their lanes. Doesn't look like he's going Iron Talon though, which is a good start. I think that would be very game losing for them.
So already both teams getting their wards down. Is it safe to say that you would favor the IG draft just a bit more in going into this game 1?
I personally favor it, but I don't think it's much of an outdraft either way. I think the execution is going to be the main thing this game. I'm just a big fan of like the Death Prophet drafts with
Picking
like
out
the
the ward.
Slardar interactions, and a way of taking Roche is so important for this
Ooh.
hero. I feel like it just lets you snowball objectives so much harder than nearly any mid in the game.
But I can see why you said that, because I also like, I feel like the IG draft, both drafts are kind of even, but IG in terms of execution, it feels like theirs is slightly simpler to execute because they have several ways of like just playing around the Warlock Golem. We saw back in the previous game, the previous series, where Warlock, he could get a great ultimate, but the thing is, if there's no more follow-up, then it's pretty much very, I don't want to say useless, but it does nothing. And already, you know, before the horn is even sounded, LGD getting one of the D wards out in IG. That's going to be the 300 gold going to Victoria.
That ward might end up being a really big deal as well, because when you play Darkseer, it's very important that you don't die early, I feel like, because you relieve a lot of the pressure. And Sand King is a really good hero at coming in at a point you don't expect. If the Warlock can like get you low enough and he comes in when you're at like 80%, Jug spins you down, it can really like relieve the pressure from the lanes, especially as Slardar is not starting up there to deal with this in any way, which I think makes sense. You don't want to put all your eggs in this basket with like a level 1 Surge Iron Shell. It just doesn't do that much damage.
And now they're going to try and chase him around, they run him around. Get the Burst Strike out, can't really get the block. Victoria is probably hoping to be on the right side, but this actually may be enough as Ame is going to be there. They have the spin. XXS should be dying here. The second Burst Strike, they get the first blood on Yao. So pretty good start already for LGD. And tough lane for XXS.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is he has the double wave. Normally if you tank the first blood as an offlaner, you get the creep equilibrium going towards you. In this case it's going away. So I suppose that's naturally how Darkseer works, with the Iron Shell and the creeps. But now the lane's going to be in a really bad position, especially if the Sand King blocks him pulling the side creeps. they can just tank the wave at this line, and he's going to get completely boxed. He does have level 2, so it's slightly hard for them to net the kill, but he's pretty much forced to go jungle now. And that's going to free up the Sand King to start pulling, and their supports are going to get a lot more from this now.
On the bright side, he also gets the bounty rune coming up, so he's going to get the level 2. But hey, Sand King knows what's going on, and Victoria immediately goes right in and it's like, hey, I'm here. What you doing?
Oh, you can do this instead of pulling as well. Probably gets you more XP.
Or he can just steal the bounty rune. Yep, he does steal the bounty rune. Oh, that's really big. Which means XXS doesn't get what he needs. And now he's even going to try and split the EXP. Best case scenario, he's going to get the big creep. Ooh. Victoria does not play nice. He's a bully.
I mean, these are the kind of things you've got to do as a support Sand King.
Baboka thinking about going on old 11, but they do not have enough damage. Crystal Maiden's not there. Crystal Maiden's actually taken to the jungle, already level 2. Should be level 3 in a bit.
I think DP's dead. Yeah, this Sand King just needs to go
LGD.
in and,
they like DP too. And that's it. They take OP down. Big kill for maybe already. He did go for the level 2 into the strike, so that means his harassment damage of the DP. You don't want to be trading hits at all.
definitely not at this point when your Siphon's on cooldown. I think he played it in, I wasn't exactly watching, but there was a regen rune top, and I think he played it in a way to try and trade with maybe to get as much value out of it as possible, but the Sand King was right position, right time, stopped him getting it, and then Quap has Blink. So you can push your advantage.
Oh, Baboka did die to old 11, who now is going to tango up. He has to cogs up in 2, 1, bang. Oh no, he caught him in instead. Mistakes were made. I was looking at the top lane because I know that Victoria was just trying to be an even bigger pain to XXS, who now does have level 3. They won't be able to kill him, but still a solo kill for the Clockwork bottom lane. That's quite good. First strike again. They just want to zone XXS out of this lane. Go back home.
Yes, like completely different story for both offlaners now. Dax here is not having so much fun, and the Sand King, sorry, the Clockwork's actually getting kills. Which is something that you normally can't do against these lanes, but the CM was like super greedy at the start. And she's been jungling.
He might be thinking about... he could just actually use it and go into Crystal Maiden.
He's probably waiting for them to show under the ward.
Look at Victoria. Oh no, he's playing this so aggressively. If he can actually wait it out for XXS to get low enough, he might even get himself a kill, especially since it was nighttime. He actually managed to sneak past. So...
He wants this mid lane, look how far the DP is.
Oh. Round 2. Soul Siphon's gonna come out, getting a bit of life steal for OP. What if... They have more than enough damage, I think. The Frostbite's gonna be there for the turnaround. Looks like Victoria should be dying. Actually, no, the snowballs are not painful enough. Q.
Bloody murder.
He's definitely QQing.
That was close. He was like, what, 30, 20 HP? That was very, very low.
Yeah, one more hit would have done it, but...
Did that hurt?
He plays to the limits, maybe gets another... Was it maybe? Yeah, he got the kill. So... Pretty happy with his mid lane so far. And this is something DP is rather weak at. And I think that's half the reason Quap's good this game. You can actually pressure her so much in the lane if you just have one hero to help you. Like on your own, if ever you try and push your advantage, DP's generally pretty good at nullifying the trades with the Siphon. And it's too awkward to play around the cooldown a lot of the time. That being said, maybe he's a god, so he probably can. But with Sand King, it's just so easy to net the kills. And IG supports are busy doing other things.
Well, Crystal Maiden has spent a ton of time in the jungle. She is level 4.5. Like, you talk about EXP distribution between the teams. Does kind of favor LGD, that's because they've gotten the kills. But IG are not doing too shabby despite being behind on the kill score. So...
But it's for gold that's the issue.
I mean, you see CM's 11-0. Oh, they want to go again into OP. Looking for the burst strike. The Soul Siphon's going to be there on maybe. But they'll go for the turnaround onto Victoria. They'll take it instead. won't even need the crush. So Baboka coming in just for the assist goal. That's a TP baited, which means that Clockwork has alone time with this Troll Warlord in the bottom lane. And seeing as he's level 4, or level 5 after this creep wave, I think he actually has some kill potential here to actually take down the Troll.
A soldier's fortune.
It's tough to close the distance with phase boots, but yeah, he definitely has bully potential. He can just do exactly what he did there, which is run at the Troll, force him back. But it is really good that IG showed that they're willing to defend this mid lane, because so far the CM came for the one gank, didn't quite get the turn kill, so LGD is still quite happy to push on that lane and create DP some problems. But now that they show the TP's in, they're probably going to stop focusing on that lane, at least until maybe has his ult. He's opting to hold his skill point though, which is something you see quite commonly for more skirmish based, when you know you can get the kill without your ult. Speaking of kills, they find the Dark Pit, but I think
to get the bar strike here, but I don't think he should be dying. No way. I mean, I was gonna comment on like Old 11. He should have died if he had just got a bit further forward, but he knew because of this ward placed inside. He knew that the Crystal Maiden wasn't jungling. He knew that the Slaughter was off the map as well. Something was up, and he didn't get baited into that. So by avoiding the death, he's already almost level 6 after this creep, and now he's ready to gank.
Yeah, their lanes have gone so well. Sand King's getting things done. He doesn't have many levels or farm to show for it, but the rest of his team is thriving.
Nah, he doesn't want to risk it. Too little HP. But this means there's an Arcane Rune to the top. Quab is just going to take it. He's like, no. Maybe he's dominating this lane quite hard. 40 to 14 to the DP's 30.
Yeah, the kill gold on top of that. I mean, it's not like OP could do much more. It's just he's been focused.
But XX says, getting a bit frisky with Ame. Well, Darkseid at least he's kinda holding up his own edge. I mean, he has the Soul Ring. He's gonna build his way towards his mechanism, but over in the bottom lane, they take care of burning very quickly. Battle Trance not really gonna help you, as maybe he still has the Arcane. They could actually go for the turnaround kill here. Baboka, you should not be there. OP, yeah, he won't have enough damage. But now the blink out from maybe, he's going to keep on going. He actually may have enough. I think he could have. He has plenty of wand charges. And with this Arcane Rune, he might be able to make something happen here. Ooh, now he doesn't want to overcommit for this. OP is just baiting. And now the Golden Kitty from Ame as well. Very, very nicely done. But Ame needs to make something happen. Now he needs to go in. Oh, they're trying for the Queen of Pain. Omni Slash, thank you Q. OP still inside the trees. Do they know? Doesn't want to take the risk. So do they have a shrine? Yeah, they do. They can just go back and shrine. Very nice efficiency out here from LGD. There was like 2 kills? 3? 3 kills. 3 for 1.
Really good use of the Quap early. And this is the luxury of Clock having a good lane. Like, there's just so much pressure. And you see, like, he's going under this ward top now, and if he actually gets his cogs, he gets the kill. Solo kill, basically. I think Warlock's there for some luxury experience, but... And now bottom as well.
The good thing is he didn't even use the hookshot for that kill. And bottom lane, oh, maybe. I'm a bit behind.
Walk him down.
So... 2 kills already going the way of LGD. These guys are getting further and further away, and...
Their rotations are actually so clean as well.
Yeah. And
every time they move heroes, things are happening. And when you move your safe lane Jug and your Warlock's soaking XP top and your Clockwork rotates up there and kills the offlaner solo, it's like your game just feels so good right now. Sand King might not be the happiest because he doesn't have the most farm. He's actually under his Warlock, which is not by design. But everything's going so well for them right now. And as soon as this creep dies by maybe, Warlock has 6 and they're good to take a fight. And IG are actually smoking into them right now. If they can somehow counterplay this, it would be really good. But they don't have TPs on the right heroes.
Can they kill the Clockwork though? They're just gonna put a ward behind the tower, I presume? Yep, they will.
They can definitely kill him if he doesn't hook away.
Nice clogs. Is there any more follow-up? And just like that, LGD, they dodge a smoke gank and absolutely nothing they can do. But it looks like they're considering diving under the tier 1 tower for this.
Radiant's bottom
Nope,
tower
but
is
immediate
under
smoke rotation coming in from LGD. This could be really big. We might be in for a big team fight. They pop the Exorcism. They want to go into Army here. They know that everyone else is off the map, but the spin can only do so much. Army doesn't have... Oh, wait, he has the Omni Slash still. He can go. The big Chaotic Army letting 3 heroes into the Sonic Wave. LGD, a decimating IG under the tier 1. And now the Upheaval trying to get the slow victorious. Looking for the Burst Strike. 3, 2, 1. Actually will get out. So, great usage of the Rock already in LGD. They made it just in the nick of time.
That's just like pure outplay, honestly. They got completely baited. They thought they'd be okay, but just big ults, and they waited long enough. I actually feel really bad for like how IG looks right now, because they're suffering from what we saw.
Oh, they go for the Burst Strike immediately with the Omni Slash. Boboka don't have it for the spin, but the Soul Siphon gonna drain a bit of HP from Victoria. And now here comes maybe finding Boboka. Trying to get the Fatal Bonds is doing quite a bit. Still can blink in. No, double Burst Strike very nicely done in the double. Woo, woo, woo. LGD introducing IG to 50 Shades of Grey thanks to this Queen of Pain.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Something like that. It's just, it's so hard for them to do anything.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And going back to what I was just about to say, it's like, it was the eHome game 2, where eHome completely snowballed their lanes and the other team had
Radiant's
no
middle tower has fallen.
natural initiation. IG have to wait for Slider to get a blink. This hero is currently the lowest on net worth, and he's not going to get farm priority because the other heroes need it way more. And he's so far away from his blink, it's like, it's too hopeful at this point.
P, I'm just gonna say Clockwork just picked up a Midas. He's 4th on the net worth chart. He's extremely farmed, and he's 5, 2, and 3. Yeah, he's died, but still, it seems like so far within the Chinese games, pick Clockwork, win games. Simple.
Yeah, they're showing really good like knowledge of how the hero works. They're playing around it really well, and they're picking it early in drafts as well. To LGD's credit though, I think most of this game's just on their course. Every time one of them has moved, it's yielded fruit, and that's so important when IG have no like counterplay. Sure, the Sand King set may be up pretty well for the mid lane, but other than that, it's all being core movements, and those things are generally pretty risky.
Oh, old 11, they might be able to find the Troll Warlord. I think they do. Hookshot in, right into the cogs, and nothing Boboka can do. Burning just gonna die the Sonic Wave to finish him off. Old 11, however, maybe a bit of trouble. The battery or something. Oh, actually, hold on. Boboka gonna get the double. And now they use the Chaotic Offering just for Death Prophet. Old 11 will still go down nonetheless. But okay, now they get some comeback by taking care of the Golem up. He was gonna be a bit slow. I think OP's in the wrong place. Omni Slash to finish him off. Maybe on a monster kill streak. It looks like they will find Q as well.
One more kill. That's all we need, boys. One more kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We need it to happen.
I was hoping it was going to be 3-2-2, but unfortunately they fed away a kill.
We'll take it. We'll take it. I mean, we take whatever we can get.
Any memes is good
Dire's
memes.
top tower is under
Much
attack.
meme. Alright, so...
And this is a bit where you ask me how IG come back, and I say I have no fucking clue, right?
Yes, exactly. You read me well. You see, we're casting nicely together. We're learning.
I'll take your tribute.
I mean, they just got their mech on Darkseer, but they need to dodge, and I don't think they can because Clockwork's a hero and Sand King has Blink.
This is just one of those games where the Veil of Discord, you know, it seems sometimes Veil of Discords, it's like, alright, it's like an Asian mom hitting you with a cane. But with the Veil of Discord and the Queen of Pain, it's like she's hitting you with a tree trunk. So, I don't know, man. I feel like this game is quite hard for IG, but maybe this Aegis could turn things around. This could be that comeback mechanism.
I mean, they have a Clockwork. He should be rocketing this shit when they're off the map. Like, look at how deep their vision is right now, and they see no one. Maybe I'm being a bit too picky here, but I feel like this should be scouted by a rocket. The fact it isn't is super good for IG. Like, it's their main way to get back into the game if they can, like, 5-man with this Aegis. Unfortunately, they don't quite have Exorcism, but I don't think they need it to push tier 1s. Especially if LGD are scared of fighting into them, which they probably will be without Rocket for another 50.
Alright. Rip Crystal Maiden. Oh, the 11's just like, thank you for the free kill. Yeah, they get a ward placed down, but this means that IG have to back out. And there's still no Blink Dagger and Baboka. This is a very, very quiet game for Baboka, actually. I was wondering why they didn't go for like the Earth Spirit. I mean, if you're gonna go for the Dark Seal, you might as well get the Earth Spirit, right?
I think Earth Spirit's just like not that good of a hero. Slider's so much better. He just actually needs a good game to show the impact, and that's the only issue.
Ooh, the Power Strike and the Scream. Baboka's like just immediately KO'd. Holy shit, that coordination was sick.
And he's a sad fish. This is like, it's just so painful to play against.
I mean, we did it for a while. We had the 420 for a while, but oh well.
I mean, we're always gonna pass it at some point. It's not like LGD weren't gonna kill them a few more times.
Maybe they knew. Maybe they just wanted to call it. I mean, if you could transfer the 4 to the other side, it'd be 3-2-2. But still, okay. So burning takes the top tier 1, but bottom tier 3. Taking some serious damage. They have the Solar Crest into Ame and all the 11s in the front line saying, come at me, bro.
And it's the other team with Aegis, but LGD don't really care. They don't really have the tools to take the fight under the base, so like this early sieging into shrines is nigh impossible. But what they do is they force them back, they claim a bit of map control by doing that. Because Jug can just TP top here with no threat at all. He knows the heroes that can actually, there's not even a hero that can cause him problems if his team's actually close. But the rest of his team can like completely take away IG's woods, and then they farm out their own woods, and they get this huge economy boost. And they get complete control of the map, which stops IG like accomplishing anything. They're getting this D ward, but it was just about to run out anyway, so LGD don't really care. Are they close to anything?
Well, Troll is kind of close to Assange and Yasha, but it almost feels like he needs the BKB instead. So that's going to take a while. But once again, look at LGD. They just smoke up.
There's no reason for them to like stop playing aggressive. Only thing they have to worry about is like Jug's TP is on cooldown for a while, so if they want to go bottom, they would be fighting with like technically 2 hero disadvantage, but they make the right call, I think. If you smoke bottom here, it's risky. Just trade your tier 1 for their tier 2, and you're in like a superior position. If someone TP's here, or to like the tier 3, you just kill them, and then maybe you can get a tier 3 afterwards.
It's not even just 1 tier 2, you're taking 2 tier 2s, and that's this means that you have the potential to starve out IG. And LGD, they're securing tons of map control, but at the same time LGD, at least they do get some resources to boost their economy just a tiny bit. And now OP immediately TPing back the rest of the team will as well to join him, so they need to they realize that they need to defend this. But I think LGD, this is just respect for IG's high ground defense, that they don't want to fight into the Aegis. They want to wait out the Aegis first.
I actually don't think they care about the Aegis. I think it's just shrines.
Well, that too.
But high ground is so hard to siege right now. There's really no point for them trying to go for it like 20 minutes in. They don't have pushing heroes. Jug can be defined as one, but at this stage of the game, just tower right clicks, a few nukes, or even right clicks make him low enough that he can actually die, and he's not holding an Aegis. So it does buy IG some time to maybe finish up some items. The main one's going to be the blink on Slider, but he's just like so far away, and he, as I said earlier, he's not getting farm priority because both their other cores want BKBs, and that's much higher on the list. The only way he's getting farm is through killing heroes, and they have 4 of those. And admittedly, he's been involved in 3 of them, but he's also died 7 times and has 17 CS.
Alright,
there's just not space for him.
I saw an Arcane Rune. I thought you probably wanted to give that to OP because that's really good on him, but Burning was like, I'm just gonna deny it. And meanwhile, LGD looking to pick a fight. I think this would be a good moment. Aegis should be expiring pretty soon, and at the same time, do you think Darkseer should go for the Arcane Boots or Blink Dagger? Okay, I take that back, never mind. I saw the energy booster in the quick buy, and then I realized, I was like, why would he not go for a dagger at this time? Like, it's so good. So
agreed.
Alright, so Baboka's...
There's no reason to get the sustain. Like, you get Arcanes early when you're spamming out waves and you're actually doing things.
Baboka, you're in trouble. Baboka's in trouble. Blind hook, off the mark. And he just ninjas all the way to the right. So they probably thought that he TP'd out, but... This is rough, man. All he wants is a Blink Dagger. But Boka with Blink, I think he can actually have such great impact because this is just the way he is. You give him a Dagger and Earth Spirit, he gives you a Ravage.
A lot of pressure on him though. I really wouldn't be surprised if he gets like 2,000 gold, he just sells his entire inventory buying boots to get it. That's how starved they are at this point. And I like the fact he didn't TP away here. Because now he's going to see LGD showing bottom, he gets to cut the wave. He might die for this if he gets a bit greedy.
Look who's on the way, his Stalker's on the way, 7 seconds. Baboka, this is not the play. Baboka, get out Baboka!
Yeah, he's dead.
Where are you going? Hello!
He doesn't even hook. What a player.
He just 4-steps forward and down goes Baboka. Oh, now the Sand King initiation comes in onto XXS. Somnus is like, hey, Sonic Wave, yo, Septum into the air. Did you want to surge somewhere, dude? The vacuum into the wall, 3 heroes XXS. And now the silence, it lands into 2, but IG just unable to catch up. Burst Strike. Oh, Victoria! Sandstorms immediately. And he's gonna get out. Your clock is back as well. He has a hook shot with the Midas.
It's just so easy for them. Like, they kill the Slider who doesn't have a blink yet, and then when they do get somewhat counterplayed by a decent vacuum, there's just like the heroes can't follow up at all. There's just nada they can do. So even if LGD do maybe like overstep a tiny bit.
Oh, the hook shot. He's found it from behind, but not really. He bumps into the creep wave, and now Baboka can try for a turnaround. And use up jump into the air. Victoria, I'm not sure what's the epicenter. There's no Rave Festival at the back line. But alright, IG. They'll be thankful for that.
Fine.
No epicenter at all. That was a wasted ulti. Huge spiff.
I don't know if it was completely wasted. Like I think they might commit on the clock there, but they have this ward on the high ground that maybe LGD don't know about. And that's why they don't commit. And it actually saves the clock's life like 100%. And they're not forced to fight. They don't even need Epic to fight. It's just like luxury, you know, icing on top of the cake. Oh, cherry on top of the icing. You know what I mean.
And I'm just paying close attention to Baboka. If he had cleared the whole creep wave, he definitely gets a dagger. So maybe he sells the branch.
He's just gonna sell.
Sell the branch, right? Yeah.
Honestly, sell whatever. Like,
sell the stout shield. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, that's a missed value, but oh, he wants to buy the smoke as well.
Okay, that makes sense. But this is really big because they don't know. LGD have no clue. And if anything...
But they don't need to know. Like, look at their vision, right? If this shows that there's like waves going in, or maybe they even smoke under this, or heroes aren't showing under it, like there's so many ways LGD know something's happening. And just look how... This is... It's really hard to appreciate from a standard perspective, but European teams, I feel like, and especially Russian teams, don't do this very much. But Chinese teams are just so tactically aware of what the other team's going to do based on so little information, and they play around it so well.
Oh, they use the scan. They know exactly where IG are. LGD heading straight for IG.
This is just sick game sense on their part. And they have every team fight tool they need in like 5 seconds. Epi's up.
Scan checking the rush. They find the burst strike onto the Death Prophet immediately by burning, going into the whirling axe. It's going to be cogged back. And this is where IG, they need to back off. They need to try and retreat somehow. But LGD will try and kite them back. This is just a constant back and forth. Maybe the double damage. They don't want to take the unnecessary risk. And you look at how scared they played. XXS just TP'd out immediately. And now it's his turn to go into a blink. Because if you combine the blinks from Slaughter and XXS on the Dark Seer, I think they actually still have a pretty decent chance to turn this into... or at least give us some nice team fights. You know, I wouldn't want to say comeback just yet because Caster's Curse. But, alright, Sand King. Hold on. Oh, your Warlock has a gem. Alright, that makes sense.
Yeah, he picked that up a minute or two ago, I think. Just good shout to secure any map control. The only way IG are going to feel comfortable moving out is if they have vision in that area and they can play around it. This completely nullifies that. And it's also just conveniently timed around Roshan, where they can deward the entire pit.
Well, 20 seconds and they're just waiting the Roshan.
They don't know about this ward though. This could save IG
the smoke.
if they're able to fight.
Broken by maybe and immediately blinks off. What game sense?
Slaughter player. Now Slaughter's dead, right? They hook him?
Ooh, no, the hook shot goes to the backline instead. But it cogs onto 3 heroes. That's pretty big. And now the Soul Siphon onto 11. Looks like they will isolate Burning, who pops his BKB. He's going to try and turn around, but maybe will take care of Boboka on the top. The vacuum into the wall, lands into 2, but here comes maybe destroying Q. And now the epicenter from the low ground. Down goes OP as well. Used up to GM, but he's dead anyways. And now they even pop the rock for this. They just want to go straight for the tier 3s. The GG from Boboka, they've had enough. They've been spanked around. And with LGD's permission, they will die.
A sick game from LGD. Again, like, lanes, they completely destroyed them. Everything kind of stemmed from LGD getting just good trades everywhere. And it wasn't so much like the very start of the lanes, but just when heroes started to get their levels and the lanes start to break down slightly, every rotation was good for them. And by the time IG were prepared for anything, the damage was done. And after that, it's just like no initiation on their part, so they had no punish. Once LGD got a tiny bit of freedom with like their first tier of items, and honestly, even just for Warlock ult to cover them if anything goes bad, IG just had no punish. So they had to, like, I don't know, do some clunky stuff, and they got the first Roche, but you saw that LGD didn't care. Like, they still didn't take a fight with it. And they ended a 26-minute game with a 17k gold lead and 4 kills dropped.
Well, at the same time, I mean, I guess it's safe to say that Clockwork is pretty much back in the meta, like the way the Chinese teams are playing. Because every time we see a Clock, they just get 6, go around, making stuff happen. And I feel like the Crystal Maiden pick, like you said, you know, if she goes into... Okay, you said for the Sand King, if he goes to the jungle, it's gone for them. But in this case, he didn't. But you see, the Crystal Maiden didn't accomplish much. Like, I think they could have killed or pressured the Clock a bit more if they put the Crystal Maiden and the Slaughter there from the get-go, instead of just telling her go straight to the jungle to level 4.
In Q's defense, it's really hard to presume you're going to pressure the Clock, because he's going to cog the wave back. He's going to get the first wave for free because of where the lane's positioned. And then you feel like you're not doing anything, so you at least want to jungle the first camp. And then you kind of look at the lane and see what's happening. But there was just no pressure from IG at any point in the game. And I think some of that does stem to the, like, when you pick Darkseer, you don't want passive in the early game. You want something that's going to give you a use. And if you're just iron shelling creeps and buying a mech and then not fighting with it, the hero's just not good. And as far as the Clockwork goes, I think this is like the perfect kind of cores to play with him. Active cores that want to rotate early. Quap is perfect example. You know, you hook in on someone, she's just going to blink from the tower, ulti them. It's going to kill nearly anyone.
Alright, so that was game 1, ladies and gentlemen. LGD, you know, one step closer to at least the lowest bracket finals. And, well, we'll be back for a quick break. So meanwhile, enjoy some sellout. I know you guys love it. Casters need to eat. So this is the Summit 7. We'll be back for game 2 shortly.